Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Quill Quickcard, and welcome back to Vampire Survivors. Don't panic, the game has not gotten another update yet. But I wanted to do something fun with it today. Since I'm currently sitting at a full 100% completion in every single category of this game, I wanted to try again the way it was at the beginning. So I'm going to turn off all of like the extras, and we're just going to go and do a level with the stuff that was here at the beginning. And to that end, it means I'm also going to get rid of the clock lancet stuff, the improved whip thingy, no victory sword because that's just busted. Just gonna get rid of these things, you know? And we're gonna play without arcanas. We're just gonna have a nice, simple, basic run. I'm even gonna turn off the Shadow Pinion, but mostly that's because I just hate it. And we're going to disable all of our bonuses. I have gotten so used to playing in a state of unbelievable overpoweredness that I think sometimes it's easy to forget what this game was like when I first started playing. So we're going to take our good old starter boy Antonio, and we're going to play a full run without any of the bells and whistles in the good old Mad Forest. Let's have some fun. And even then, like, I've got merchants, I've got maps. Like, it is truly insane how far this game has come. It's just amazing. Like, I have never had a game capture my heart in quite the way that this one did. You know? It's just a really, really special game. And I encourage absolutely everyone to play this. I think it's like $4.99 on Steam, maybe $3.99. I don't know. It's $5 at most to get it. The DLCs are likewise cheap. But even without the DLCs, this is a fucking masterpiece of game development. It's so good. It's so good, and it's so much fun. It's just a constant drip of, happy brain chemicals. I haven't independently verified it, but my understanding is that the developer, he used to design slot machines and got disgusted with that work because it was blatantly and specifically predatory. And that was their job, was to design predatory machines whose purpose in every aspect of the design was to be exploitative and manipulative. And so the story goes that they got so disenchanted with that they started doing something else instead. But they were able to take all the knowledge that they had of how to make, games that capture attention and focus and draw people in and are just instantly massively fun, and use it to just make this just a fun, wonderful, interesting game that's not manipulative and exploitative, that's not trying to soak at your wallet and leave you dry. And I think that's so great. I think it's really important that we need to remember that for all the stories we hear constantly of bad things in the world, that your typical person out there is probably still a good person who doesn't want to hurt anybody, who doesn't want to manipulate people without reasons, who doesn't want to take advantage of you. They're just good, noble people living their lives. And that's all it can take to change the world, to change people's lives. And I just think that kind of positivity is desperately needing to be emphasized in the world right now. And that's the other reason that I'm doing that. Because I think we all need some positivity, and I think we all need to be reminded that while there are dangerous and malicious people out there in the world, most people are not. And even among those who are, it is much, much more common that they are that way, not because they are bad people, but because there is something inside of them that is broken. Something that needs to be healed. Something that needs to be worked on and improved and grown. Because most people, when they feel safe, when they feel secure, they are filled with generosity and goodwill. I truly do believe that. I'm no bleeding heart when it comes to people. Certainly, there are some real bastards out there in the world. And there need to be consequences that happen to real bastards. But I think that that is a true minority of humanity. And I know. I've been the bastard out there who needs to have consequences. I've been that person. I have been the broken person. There are ways I am still a broken person. There are ways I will probably always be a broken person. But I learned to do better. I watched other people learn to do better. I watched some people who were much bigger bastards, much more broken than I ever was, learn to do better. And I have seen firsthand that people are absolutely capable of achieving great things. Now, excuse me, while I commit multiple acts of mass murder against these innocent undead. But, yeah, I just think, assuming that story I heard about the developer is true, and I believe it is, since I have seen it from multiple sources, I think it goes to show that the guy who made this, the fan who made Vampire Survivors, he's absolutely one of those good ones. And good ones like that deserve to be highlighted and held up as examples. And they deserve our support and our appreciation. So, if the only way I have to show my support and appreciation to someone who's a good person is to play their silly Vampire Survivor game and tell other people that they should try it too, then that's what I'm gonna do. Because I feel that it's the right thing to do. And I think it's a kind thing to do. And that's enough of a reason in and of itself. And now I'm just going to have to find ways to keep myself talking for the next 23 minutes. Because without hyper mode, we are in fact here for a half hour. I am significantly more fragile than I am used to. I will also point out that there is a very decent likelihood that I will not pass this level. To put it simply, the first time you play Vampire Survivors without, you know, all of your power-ups and stuff, your characters really are quite squishy. But I really wanted to relive it. And not to mention, the more that this game has been improved upon over the years, the more its whole progression system has gotten to be pretty decently linear in many ways. When I first started, the game was still in early access, and while there was, you know, some linear progression in the sense of, like, get thing X and it will unlock thing Y, it was very, very limited progression. I could not have imagined, when I started playing this game, just how big it was going to end up getting. And, I mean, the Castlevania DLC alone practically doubled the size of the entire game, which is insane. These bats have health that scales depending on my level, so they are going to be extremely tanky, and I'm going to be walking around them in circles for a while. But, yeah, the Castlevania DLC really helped to highlight just... God, there's so much passion into that. It was insane. I'm not even, like, a Castlevania fan. Like, I have played, like, Castlevania 1 through 4, and then, you know, I did that on, like, one Halloween with save states, because those games are nearly impossible. I've never even played, like, Symphony of the Night for more than an hour. I'm not a Castlevania fan, but my god, the passion, the dedication that went into that DLC was so profound and so obvious and so inspiring that it truly touched me, even as someone who is an outsider to the series. I can only imagine how meaningful and impactful it must have been for someone who's a real, like, Castlevania fan. Like, you know, presumptively, the developer. Since, you know, the vast majority of Vampire Survivors, especially at first, was just Castlevania parody. Okay, we are in skeleton phase. The 11-minute mark skeleton phase, but it is pretty survivable since we got our garlic leveled up, so that's okay. The real danger is going to come when we get to the Minotaur phase. That's where it is extremely possible that I am going to die. Come on. Come on, get all the levels that you can. King Bible? That's a good one. I think Santa Water would be my ideal final weapon? Garlic, sure. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, we're in werewolf phase. Right, not minotaurs, werewolves. Werewolves are not as squishy as skeletons. And alright. Honestly, that's about typical. That's about as well as I do when I first played the game. And yeah, that actually feels very nostalgic to die at the 12-minute mark. Okay, that was fun. All right. Well, thank you for listening to me ramble. I appreciate it. And I will see you all on the next one.